Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for the Daily African Proverbs. This is the African Father in America podcast. My name is Javan Okelo, and I am excited to be here with you. I am right now on Clubhouse and also on YouTube. I am live streaming today's conversation on YouTube, and I will be able to share the link, in a couple of minutes. For now, I just want to settle in, and I want to invite you, if you're listening to the Daily African Proverbs today, I want to invite you to take a moment and breathe and, feel welcome and know that we are going to dissect an African proverb today in order for us to gain some African wisdom. But we are going to learn about three things particularly. Give me one moment here to just set up the room here on Clubhouse. Hi Maja, hi Davey, thank you for joining me. Today we are taking a virtual journey to Mali. We are going to be discussing a Malian proverb that is really beautiful. And it says that a turtle is not proud of his long neck. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. Now, before we continue, I just want to take a second here and share the link to the YouTube live stream for today's conversation. So just give me one moment while I find that link in order for me to pin it at the top of the room. But the proverb, just to give you a second to also think about it, is a turtle is not proud of his long neck. This proverb is also the latest Instagram post, on my Instagram, which is connected to my Clubhouse profile. You can check it out and leave a comment there. I always respond to all the comments that I find on my Instagram page, because that's also a really important part of this village that we've been building over the last few years. Now, I have pinned the link, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. It's the African Father in America podcast. Today we want to talk about happiness. Happiness is something that is really important. We go to work because we want to be happy. We do so many things, in order to feel comfortable and happy. But it's always elusive, It's always, it's not, many of us can't claim that we are always happy all the time. And so, today we are going to talk about three things that everyone should consider when it comes to happiness. And, this is whether you are struggling with your own happiness, or you just want to learn more about happiness and be able to share it with somebody else. So I want to welcome my brother. Brother, you've been quite a huge supporter of the Daily African Proverbs, and I truly appreciate that. I want to invite you to join me on the stage on Clubhouse here. And Davey, I'll invite you on the stage as well. The link at the top of the room will lead you to the Clubhouse, to the YouTube live stream. And so the first one is, these are the three takeaways that I want you to consider when it comes to this proverb from Mali. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. And as we all know, the turtle always, reaches things, reaches food, reaches water as a result of the long neck, But sometimes the long neck is also an inconvenience. And, we can relate the turtle's long neck with our own situations and things in our own lives that might not look so convenient or look perfect, but they come to our rescue in times that we least expected. So, number one thing that I want to suggest that we consider when it comes to happiness is that it's a choice that you have to make. It's a choice. Even in this proverb, the turtle is not proud of his long neck. It is his, and it is his long neck, and he has to choose to embrace it. And despite his neck being longer than other people's necks, he just embraces it and takes it as his own. And with this proverb, I would say that's an example of how he can choose happiness. Again, the second thing is, happiness is something that you create. You create it for yourself. It's hard for somebody else to come from somewhere else and make you happy. Many people have everything that they need, but they're still not happy, or they have most things that many people need in order to be comfortable. But if you take somebody from Seattle, where I am, to Kisumu, Kenya, where I grew up, every day you'll find people smiling and satisfied with their lives in a place like Manyata slum, where I grew up, than here in Seattle. And I feel like that's something that we can create. Because there is interaction between people from the place where I grew up in Manyata and Seattle, where I live. The same thing is happening in New York. It's happening in Los Angeles, in London. People are interacting and people can learn from each other. So it's a choice. You can choose to create a space where many people in the community experience happiness. And then lastly is, you can't please everyone. In the pursuit of your happiness and what makes you happy, you might not please everyone, and you have to be prepared to deal with that. So I wanted to share those in opening, and I want to welcome you all to the African Father in America Club. This is also the African Father in America podcast, which is available across all podcasting platforms. And in fact, our conversation today is going to be part of an episode. Maybe we are so close to 200 episodes, and all of these episodes have been African proverbs, forming the foundation of our discussion. And throughout the 1 hour we dissect it and hopefully gain some African wisdom. So I want to hear from you, Davey. If you just share with us where you're joining us from, and what this proverb from Mali means to you. The proverb again says, a turtle is not proud of his long neck. But before I pass you the microphone, Davey, and then brother, I just want to welcome Dr. Ioka to the room. Thank you for being here. And I see Petra and Miss Benz and Linda as well. Feel free to raise your hand if you want to join us on the stage. We had Africa Day last Wednesday here on Clubhouse, and I was really privileged to lead the production of this great event. And since then, this is the first Clubhouse room I am hosting. And I really contemplated even, doing this room today. So, I feel that everybody did an amazing job. I haven't reached back out to everybody that helped. But if you're here and you helped with Africa Day production, I just want to let you know that I truly appreciate it. So, Davey, go ahead and introduce yourself and share with us where you're from and what this proverb means to you.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I hear you so well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for welcoming me to speak. Thank you so much for the words you've already spoken, have been a blessing to me. I appreciate you and this community that I just newly discovered. I'm joining from Maryland, very close to Washington, D.C. area. And what this has meant to me so far, when I think of the turtle, like you said, he's not proud of it because he didn't create his long neck. It's a gift from God or what have you. And he's just being a turtle, using his long neck and shining in his own light. And so we have, we are invited to use our natural gifts and abilities as well to shine in our own light. And I wanted to speak to happiness, that happiness, in my experience, I've found grows when shared with others in community, in sense of purpose and service to others. When you make somebody else happy, it multiplies happiness. So that's what I found. And I also wanted to share a little teeny melody that my dear blessed memory grandmother used to always sing, and it speaks to happiness. And she would say, the time to be happy is now, the place to be happy is here, and the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. Amen. Thank you so much, Brother Simon.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, that song, that melody sounds so familiar. I think there's a reggae song or a couple of reggae songs with that melody in it too.
I believe you. I haven't heard the reggae version. My family, I was born in Miami. My family is Jamaican. My grandma, blessed memory, was Jamaican. So I wouldn't be surprised that it's a reggae song somewhere, but I grew up listening to her sing it around the house. So yes, 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 yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you shared with us today. And the music is everything. In fact, when you speak about happiness, music for me personally is one of the ways that I find happiness. It could be music that I'm listening to that is made by another artist, or it could be music that I am making myself. But whatever music comes my way, somehow it brings happiness. So if you add dance to that, I just feel that movement, so important to happiness. Anyhow, Davey, thank you again. We do this Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, you're welcome. This is the club where we host this daily African Proverbs. We've done it since January 2021, and from time to time we take breaks. Like last week we took a couple of days off because we produced a 24-hour event here on Clubhouse last Wednesday. So I was wiped out. I needed a break. In fact, I can't believe I'm doing this today because I wanted a few more days, but with content creation and also with consistency, you just have to, it's like working out. You have to get up even when you don't want to get up. You have to produce a show even when you don't want to, because this is bigger than you. This kind of work, for me, I consider it bigger than myself. So I just love to put in a little work. Anyhow, I want to welcome brother. Thank you again for your continued support. Share with us where you're joining us from and your perspectives on this wonderful proverb from Mali. The proverb says that a turtle is not proud of his long neck. Thank you so much.
Peace and love, family. It's Brother Earth. I'm calling from the North Carolina territory. And I want to, again, Simon, honors to you for your consistency and bringing forth the wisdom of the ancestors, to help enlighten us and give us a different way to look at things. And it's a couple of different ways I can look at the proverb for the day. And what I would say is, in the Moorish Holy Quran, it teaches us that heaven is not above, nor is hell below. These are states of mind, and being that we are creators, we create these things. And I didn't really understand what that meant, but then when I thought about my life, a large part of my life, I was living in hellacious conditions because I thought, oh, I hate my job. Oh, I hate my car. Oh, I hate this. I hate that. You feel me? And that's what reflected in my life. But as I learned to have better control of my thoughts, as I learned to master my mind, I learned to be grateful for these things and appreciative of these things because there's so many people that have much, much less. And also, what I would say when I look at the proverb is that, you know, we all have flaws or different things that we might not like about ourselves. Yet and still, we need to be able to find a way to be proud of our individuality, our uniqueness, because it's a gift from God. So with that, I park my plane right there. Peace and love, family.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And our individual uniqueness is something that we have to have a deep appreciation for. And a lot of the time we actually turn that beauty of our individual uniqueness into chaos, and that becomes the source of conflicts between us. So I just loved how um, you shared with us how we can actually make better use of our differences. Welcome everyone who is just joining us for the first time here in the African Father in America Club. This is also the African Father in America podcast. This conversation is being recorded for an episode of the African Father in America podcast that I have been hosting for a little over 2 years now. I was just saying that we are almost in the number 200 episode, and that's really a lot of work. That's also 200 proverbs, so and there's maybe 50 episodes that have not been published that could be published, but we haven't edited them or anything like that. Anyhow, I just wanted to welcome Stella as well. Stella is part of the One Vibe team that I work with, and I want you to share with us, Stella, your thoughts on this proverb from Mali. It says, "A turtle is not proud of his long neck." It's a Malian proverb. And I also shared 3 takeaways from this proverb that I want you to touch on as well. The first one was that happiness is a choice. And the second one was that you create your own happiness. And the third one was that you can't please everybody. And maybe just to speak briefly to the last part is that in pursuit of your own happiness, you will find that many people are not comfortable with you being happy. So you have to be ready to be fine with a few people not being so happy with you being happy, So I'll pass you the microphone, Stella. Share with us where you're joining us from. Okay, we'll give you a moment, Stella. I just wanted to again welcome Pluto and just let you all know that the daily African proverbs and these proverbs that we share every day. Hey, Stella.
Hello, Simon. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Yes,
Nice.
This is Stella from Kenya. And today's proverb is a beautiful one. It says that a turtle is not proud of his long neck. So maybe the turtle is worried that it has a very long neck, and yet some people just have like the best necks according to the turtle. And just looking at what you shared, the 3 things about making your own happiness and not being able to please everyone, and just being contented with what you are, with what you have, I mean. So this proverb to me, it means a lot of things, and one of them, basically, your third point about not being able to please everyone. Today I was just talking to a friend of mine whom we've been friends for over 10 years now. And usually when we call each other, because we don't stay in the same place, usually when we call each other, we just talk so freely, like you're not worried that they're going to use this against you and stuff like that. So I was just telling her, how many friends do you have that you talk to them so freely and not worry about what they would say behind your back? And she was like, hey, it's really hard. It's really hard to find. Yeah, so the world now is really too complicated. And if you want to live pleasing people, then it just becomes difficult to live in. So the best thing is to, usually I tell myself is, you have to love yourself so much despite everything. You have to appreciate yourself even when you think you're flawed. You have to really appreciate yourself, so that way you can be contented, and that way you can also share the love you have for yourself, and you can be able to love other people. But if you keep wondering, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, then you end up projecting that negativity on people, and it becomes difficult. So all the time you're worried, oh, I didn't do this right, oh, I didn't do this right. Yeah, so the proverb is really teaching us a lot of things, and I'm happy to be here. Let me attend to someone here. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Simon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Stella. I just appreciate your perspective. And, it's really about being content with what you have, being content with who you are, and just enjoying life as if this is the heaven that we are normally seeking, or this is, just enjoying every moment in life. That's what this proverb is teaching us, in short, and also, in just summary of what Stella is sharing with us. By the way, follow Stella, follow Steven, who just joined us on the stage. I work closely with them. We all work for One Vibe Africa, which is my non-profit organization, and also One Vibe Media, which is my media company. Both Stella and Steve are based in Kenya, but I'm in Seattle, Washington. And we are producing here today for the Daily African Proverbs. We have an amazing proverb from Mali. Every day we gather here, we bring a new proverb, and the hope is that you gain some African wisdom, and you get something that you can also teach someone, or that you can apply to your life through these proverbs. So today our proverb is, a turtle is not proud of his long neck. I want you to think about this proverb for a moment, and then join us on the stage and share your perspectives. We are going to be here for another, a little over 33 minutes. We have about 33 minutes. We are going to be here. We want to hear all your perspectives. And if you can't speak, it's fine. You can leave a comment on my Instagram. My latest post has this proverb there as well. And also, if you're on YouTube, if you love using YouTube, my channel is right at the top of the Clubhouse room, and I want you to subscribe, and I want you to share the link to my channel with other people in your network, so that we can grow it, especially for these Daily African Proverbs. Now, Steve, how are you doing, and where are you joining us from, and what are your thoughts about this proverb, a turtle is not proud of his long neck? Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Steven, joining you from Kisumu, Kenya. I'm happy to be here with you all, and I'm happy to be connecting with brother Davey and everyone present after our long marathon that we had all attended. Today's proverb is a nice one. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. What comes to my mind first is a scripture in the Bible that states that we are wonderfully and carefully made. So, however much a turtle isn't proud of his long neck, I would challenge the turtle. If I was in a position, I would ask the turtle to look at the giraffe, because giraffe's neck is equally longer than a turtle's. But we are all always amazed and always paying a lot of money to go into these parks just to have a glance at the giraffe and at the turtles, So uh, it's all dawns back to us, and just a calling for us to look and have a reflection about ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, and just be proud of who we are, be proud of how carefully we've been made, and be proud of every details that is in our body, irrespective of how they're placed or how we look. Whatever perception people have about you out there, it doesn't matter. What is most important is what you say about yourself. So when I come back about 3 things everyone should know about happiness is that happiness, one, cannot be bought. Second, happiness, you can't impose happiness on yourself. And lastly, happiness cannot be influenced into someone. But happiness is self-driven. It comes from inside. So we should do things that make us happy, things that make us feel contented, and things that when you do to yourself at the end of the day, you will be proud of what you had achieved. You will be giving yourself peace, because the remedy of happiness to myself is peace of mind and that contentment. I think that is all I have for now, Simon, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. Back to you. That was my moment.
Yes, Steve, that's really beautiful. I really appreciated how you shared that. What matters is what you say to yourself. Yeah, that's a big one, because what you say to yourself, especially to me, I feel like I talk to myself all the time, and I convince myself to take risks. To get things done. To sometimes also I convince myself to go to bed early and to just not do things, to be a little lazy. So I feel that trusting ourselves, allows us to tell ourselves, things that, give us more life, the more you, and anyone else on the stage can also chime into this. We have time and we don't have new voices on the stage, so we might as well have a round table. So, a lot of the time when you tell yourself, for example, for me, when I tell myself that I can't do this, then I'll find many reasons to justify why I can't do a certain thing, and then I will decide not to do it, because I will have found enough reasons to justify that I should not do. For example, I should not take a trip. I will find many reasons why I should not take a trip, or why I should not, find another side gig to make more money in order for me to afford to take a trip to a special place that I've wanted to go to. At the same time, I also find I can motivate myself and do very risky things like producing Africa Day. It's something that is time consuming. You have to build a lot of relationships with a lot of people and delicately hold it, and ensure as many people's needs are met as possible. So you find that, I don't even know where I belong if there was a balance, but I feel that this is something that is worth diving a little deeper into. How do you all deal with that? How do you all deal with what we tell ourselves? And maybe what are some ways that you could advise us to tell ourselves things that motivate us to be happy?
100%, Simon. What you said, 100%, because our voice is the loudest voice we hear, right? And so we owe it to ourselves to speak life into our own selves. This speaks to the power of affirmations, I am statements, I am strong, I am intelligent, etc. We are programming our mind for success. If we say I am something else, our whole being is going to fulfill that. whether it be good or bad. So 100% affirmation. Another thing that I have found to be helpful is there's a phrase that says, to thine own self be true. Sometimes looking in the mirror, facing your own self, eyeball to eyeball, and telling yourself the truth, where you are now, and then your affirmations where you want to be. And that is another way of positive self-talk, positive being our own best friend, our own champion, our own cheerleader, the loudest voice in our head. Another thing I find helpful is to record that voice. So with, for example, an iPhone, probably Android has similar feature. You can record, or even cassette tape. You can, however you want to record sound, right? Make a recording of your voice when you're in a superpower positive mood. That's the time. Record your I am statements and positive advice to your future self, so to speak. And then when you listen to it, it almost like time travels you back to that point when you felt that way. And it's the most influential voice. Again, it's the loudest voice. It's like you're speaking life back into yourself. So even if you're at a point where you don't feel you can speak positive words, but you listen to yourself speaking to you those positive words, ooh, that just jumps you right back there. And then lastly, I wanted to add scripting, so to speak, because when we say it, but then when we take our hands and fingers and pen and paper and put it to pen and paper and write it down, those I am statements, those goals, whatever, your vision boards, right? To program your mind for success. And absolutely, Brother Simon, I agree with you. Whatever vision you have, whether it's good or bad, your thoughts and ideas are going to come up with either excuses or abilities to make it so. So 100%. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Davey, for your wonderful perspectives. The floor is open. I want to see who else wants to share their perspectives here. Hey, Thought, maybe I'll just bring you up to speed in regards to where we are, and maybe pass you the mic. We are discussing a proverb from Mali, and everyone on the stage had shared their perspectives on it. Earlier before Debbie spoke, now we are having an open conversation, and there is no specific order. We went through the regular Daily African Proverbs order where everyone just shares where they are and what the proverb for the day means to them. So we are discussing a proverb that says, a turtle is not proud of his long neck. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. And so we are at a point where, Steve shared with us, Steve was the last speaker, that, what you tell yourself is the most important thing. We were just having an open conversation about that, and Debbie was, sharing a few stories and perspectives on why what you tell yourself, for example, affirmations, and when you should do affirmations is very, very important. So I want to, just invite you to say hi. By the way, thank you for your help with Africa Day. You are one of the volunteers that, supported promoting and making Africa Day possible. That meant a lot. And Steve, by the way, thank you as well for your support with Africa Day. Thought?
Yeah, hi Simon. Good morning, everyone. I'm connecting from California, and I was listening to the last speaker talk about happiness, and it was amazing. By the way, Simon, the African Day was amazing. I was inspired a lot. I got a lot of learnings and teaching from attending that program the times that I could, and honestly, I do not regret any minute I spent in that room with you guys during the African Day. So, going back to what you just explained to me about the conversations today, for me, I believe the quote that says "Taro is never proud of his long neck." I think it goes about to me. I think it's about self-confidence. I think it's about self-love. I think it's about happiness. I think it's about being able to to hold yourself accountable and being truthful to yourself. You know, there's a quote that I used to love that says, be very fast to apologize, but doing the right thing and avoiding apology is better. So I think happiness is a natural thing, and one way one should be able to attain any of this is holding themselves accountable and doing what makes you right. You know, following your mouth, following your thoughts, following your ideas, and just being true to yourself. You know, don't disrespect anyone, and do not let anyone disrespect you. Not just by how you speak, but how you carry yourself, how you attend to things, how you address little details. I think I'll end my mic on this. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel that what you said is important. It's easier said than done. It's easier said. Just the statement you shared with us, doing the right thing and avoiding apology is better than making mistakes and then apologizing, or doing what you need to do and then apologizing. But you have to really put a lot of work into it, especially if that's important to your happiness. So I thank you again for being here. Hey, Censors, welcome back. This is the first room I'm hosting since Africa Day, and I'm just so grateful to you. You worked tirelessly to make Africa Day possible, and I've been in a thank you mode because this is really the first time we are gathering since Africa Day. So I just want you to know how grateful I am for your support. We are discussing a proverb from Mali, and this proverb says that a turtle is not proud of his long neck. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. Share your perspectives on this with us, Censors.
Oh, thank you very much. And wow, it's great to be back. I think all of us needed the rest. So I am happy for all those who supported us on Africa Day. My perspective is simple. Just because you admire something doesn't mean that person sees it the same way. Pretty much your jealousy of what you consider to be powerful in someone might in fact be their weakness. And yep, that is my perspective. And regarding happiness, so it's not a feeling. I think it's a way of life, and part of it is giving what is good and receiving whatever you get out of it, giving without expectation, and being content. I think that would be something I would put within the definition, is that you are content, because I think it's only when you're at that level that you are free from the burdens or expectations of the world. This is Census. I'm complete.
I love that. I love, happiness is being content to and to give without any expectations. That's really powerful. Thank you, Censors. I know you and I need to connect one-on-one. Yesterday I was able to connect with Avishta, and hopefully this Saturday we can do a quick Africa Day debrief in the Africa Day Club. But for now, I just want you to know that you did a great job, and we made history together. And I want to welcome Dr. Ioka. How are you doing today? And what does this proverb from Mali, remind you of? It says, "A turtle is not proud of his long neck."
Hi, Simon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to have you here. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations on Africa Day. I'm sorry I wasn't able to join. I was actually, I can share now, I was actually in Senegal doing more work around restitution, which you know that I'm heavily involved in. But I think I want to give a Oh, and my brother Alade is there. I was happy to see him this morning on there, Dr. Alade McKinn. But I wanted to give a little. So I see this proverb from the other sort of a different perspective, and not that different is. Oh, I think all the perspectives that have been shared have been wonderful today. But how I saw it was, I think about a turtle and a turtle's neck. Including so the turtle is a very strong animal, and then the shell is very strong, and it provides a protective mechanism and defense from the environment, from predators. And the neck, it's very difficult. If you ever try to touch a turtle, he or she will retreat and pull in its neck. And a turtle's neck is extremely strong. It's just extremely strong. And so for the turtle, one of its strengths is its neck and the ability to protect itself, the ability to eat, the ability to retreat when necessary, inside and hide. And so it doesn't become proud of that strength, because I think from an African perspective, one doesn't, sort of, pat themselves on the back. They know that they exist in this world, they exist in an environment or community as a result of others. And so they're there for others, they're there for community. So one doesn't become proud of oneself, one and one's strengths or one's skills, particularly the turtle, or one whatever. So in the case of human beings, we don't become proud. We don't shout out and say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm wonderful, I do all these things." We allow others, as a result of our service, as a result of our helping, as a result of being in community, for others to recognize and see that, and we contribute to the ecology, we contribute to the ecosystem, we contribute to community. And so we're not proud of those things. We don't sort of become self-absorbed. That's what I'm saying. But we know our strengths, and we use those strengths to support others. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, that's powerful. We know our strengths and we use our strengths to support others. I love that. Thank you so much. Your presence here is deeply appreciated. I want to welcome Dr. Lade as well. Share with us your perspectives on this proverb from Mali. The turtle is not proud of his long neck. Thank you so much.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, I think. Thank you for having me, and I'm have been on Clubhouse in a while, so this is like almost a foreign space for me again. But the turtle was not proud of his long neck. It reminds me of another saying about the unexamined life is not worth living, because I think in terms of my perspective of a turtle and the physical attributes does not define who that individual is. And sometimes we get caught up in what we do and how that defines who we are, and not really tap into who we are as people, how we define ourselves through our spirit, through our families, through other things that reflect our inner grace. So when I think about the turtle, he's not proud of his neck because that doesn't define who he is. And I think sometimes we get caught with the inconsistencies of what we do and how that defined us and who we are, rather than doing, we should be being. And that's more so inward reflection and defining ourselves from other things that are attached to our attributes in life.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I just want to, welcome Marlin to share with us her perspectives, and then I'll make the floor open for a few minutes for us to just have a wrap-up conversation. So stay with us. If you're just joining us, this is the Daily African Proverbs. We are live streaming on YouTube. My channel is the African Father in America podcast, so you can see it at the top of the room on Clubhouse, and tap in, make sure you subscribe, and also if you're already there on YouTube, please leave a comment and let us know what you think about this incredible Malian proverb. Marlin, how are you? Where are you joining us from, and what does this proverb mean to you?
I'm very well, Simon. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be in your room again. I've missed you, but I have a meditation room that's every morning at 6 a.m. So Wednesdays are a little different. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that you always welcome me, and I feel so welcomed. Thank you. I agree with a lot of what Alaid said and others that shared before him about so the turtle is not proud of his long neck. So there's a lot of things that I am organically, I am intrinsically, I am just because it's in me and I am, but I don't necessarily at this point in my life, because of my growth, find myself proud and like showy about it, where maybe that was me in the past. So, for example, when if someone gives me accolades about being a mother, well, I am a mother and I do my best, but I'm not walking around saying what I did for my son or what I did with him and things like that, or about, I'm very, very proud of, being sober, but these days it's not something I go around just, like a flag, just waving like I used to. So it's just a beautiful thing, this analogy, this saying from our motherland, Africa. So thank you. I can go on and on. How I love to speak, and I love to speak on these topics and these beautiful proverbs, which I've always loved proverbs, especially the ones from Africa. Yes. So thank you for this space. Much love to all. One love.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Marlin. And I appreciate your perspectives as well. This is a safe space for everyone. So, thank you, and continue joining us whenever you can. I want to welcome, Jay and Mumzy on the stage. And also I want to recognize the presence of Monica and Ned and Ifa and Nomi and my brother Johnny. Thank you all for being here with us. Your presence is appreciated. We are here discussing a proverb from Mali, and it says, "A turtle is not proud of his long neck." And we've received so many different perspectives and contributions since we started this conversation almost an hour ago. If you missed any part of it, you can catch the audio version of it on the African Father in America podcast across all podcasting platforms, and also on YouTube. You can also catch the conversation on YouTube. But for now, I want to really invite you, Mumzy, take a moment and share with us where you're joining us from and what this proverb means to you. A turtle is not proud of his long neck. And then we'll go to Jay after that. But before you both speak, I want to thank you for your support with Africa Day. Mumzy and Jay, you are deeply involved in promoting it and speaking and just helping make it such a memorable and incredible day. So I deeply appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, hello Simon, thank you. Oh, I am the one to say thank you. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. For having me being part of it was an honor. Thank you. Hello everybody, and what it means to me, the turtle is not proud of his long neck. It's almost the same proverb we have in Cameroon. I don't know if I can translate it good, but it says the pig doesn't say, "Oh, look all the fat I have." So it's a proverb from my village that my grandma used to say to tell you to stay humble. So it's basically stay humble, stay humble. My late mother-in-law, she was also a wise, wise, wise American woman. She used to say, act like you cannot afford bread until people realize that you own the bakery. She used to say that all the time. Like, make sure you act like you can afford the bread. Like, you can't just walk around everybody knowing, oh, that's a bakery owner, right? So I think it's a proverb that says just stay humble, just stay humble. That's what I get from the proverb. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow, Mumzy, I love that. I love the story you shared with us about, walk like you can't afford bread. And, even though you are the bakery owner, I love that. I love that. Thank you. Jay, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from? And what are your thoughts on this proverb from Mali?
Thank you, dear brother Simon. I'm out of Seattle, and Mumsy, you took the words right out of my mouth, except for the story you told. And I agree with Simon. That's a wonderful story. It's great to put things in perspective using stories. And so I'm going to shift a little bit. And I'm reminded of my sister who is really tall, and I'm not. I'm not tall, but she is. She got the height gene, and she hated being tall. She really did. And to be the tallest in the class, because people as a female, they would make fun of her being really really tall. But then, almost like the swan, that the ugly duckling that turned into a swan, it was only later on in life that she was able to appreciate and value her height. But when she was young, she didn't. And she didn't take pride in it. So that's the story that I want to tell. And that was the second thing that came to mind where this proverb is concerned. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. I love that story too. Many times we don't know what we have until we lose it, or until it's not really when it's too late. But sometimes we realize that, wow, if I discovered this about myself 10 years ago, what would I have done with myself? So sometimes, life allows you to be ready, because sometimes if you discover how beautiful being tall is, if you discovered it earlier, maybe you would have been so full of yourself. What do you think, Jay?
I think just growing into it, you would have a different perspective. And so you don't realize how valuable a gift or a talent or a look or a style, how valuable that is sometimes until later in life. But then you understand that you were built this way or given this skill or given this talent for a purpose, and you've grown into yourself, and you've grown into that ability and that skill. So the same things like with the turtle, doesn't take pride in his long neck, but that long neck was given to that turtle for a purpose. And that's how we were created and designed. Everyone is different, but we can use that for the greater good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone is different, but we can use that for the greater good. Thank you, Jay. Now we've come to the tail end of our conversation, and I just want to open the floor for anyone who has any closing comments. I'll accept 3, just brief closing remarks. If you have a room that you're doing, this is a moment where you can actually promote a room that you're doing later on today or later on this week. So 3 people have an opportunity here. Very nice. Well, we are going to wrap up now, and I just want to thank you for joining me. Today's conversation was around the 3 things that everyone should know about happiness. And the first thing is happiness is a choice. The second thing is you create your own happiness. And the third thing is you can't please everyone. If you are listening to this entire conversation today, I'm sure you grabbed something that you're going to take away, and apply in your life, or educate somebody else with. And we will see you tomorrow and also Friday. And next week we are back Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also remember to also subscribe to the African Father in America podcast on your favorite podcasting app. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for your presence and for your continued support. If you are not following the African Father in America Club on Clubhouse, it's the green house at the very top of your screen. Please remember to follow, join the club, and also nominate a couple of people to join the club as well. We'll see you tomorrow with another amazing African proverb. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Thank
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African Father, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington.